What's going on, lacrosse fans? Welcome back inside the Toronto Rock Athletics Center, the home of the President's Cup here in Oakville, Ontario. And the other home is right here on the JVI Sports Network. Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire with you for game number 3 on day number 5. And pretty much nothing decided yet, quite yet. We have some sort of idea, but not a clear picture of what and who will be in the semifinals quite yet. The math is being done as we speak. But right now we'll focus our attention on the Tomahawks of Tuscarora and the Rivermen of Six Nations. As the teams are at center, set to go, blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. Rivermen in white, Tuscarora in their crimson, burgundy, maroon, and gold and white in there as well for the Tomahawks. As Winter Rivera, who is now the leading scorer of this Six Nations team, and oh yeah, he's doing it as a 16-year-old here at the President's Cup. Whitlow right on. And first stop made here by Tuscarora, who are still searching for their first win of the tournament, and if they get one or even a tie here, throw everything out the window. Because then it could potentially get real messy here as far as tiebreakers go. And I know one thing, these Tomahawks are going to play the full 60 here and put their best foot forward and try and beat the Rivermen and just throw the kitchen sink right into the mix here.
There's no doubt, although Tuscarora are not too far of a drive here from Oakville, Ontario, but they don't want to go empty-handed. They desperately want to pick up a win here. And like you said, throw a little chaos into the standings.
Everybody loves chaos. As Edmonton over Ganawage earlier in a bit of a shootout, 15-11 in that one. Ladner with another one-goal victory over Snake Island just previous to this. We'll say right now it looks like Edmonton and Snake Island have the inside edge. Ladner and Oakville are in. But like we said, still things to be decided. Oakville and Ganawage come up later tonight, and that game will have some meaning potentially depending on the outcome of this one. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think the way that you would say it right now, the betting favorites to get in are those two teams, but some things could happen. Some formulas might have to be done, and Ganawage could potentially get back into the mix of things. A lot of things have to happen, though, these last two games.
It looks like Six Nations will be on the outside looking in. They do not have a lot of tiebreaker formulas going their way regardless of the outcome here. But if Tuscarora were to get a win or a tie, it would affect the standings for other teams. So we'll see. As we're across the 2-minute mark, I just want to make quick mention of this as they play the Haudenosaunee song in Oak, Canada prior to each game here at the track, and you'll see a number of Indigenous people sit down for the Canadian anthem, which I want to make very clear here is their absolute right to do so. And I've seen a couple of comments of people saying, why are they standing for the Haudenosaunee and sitting for the Canadian anthem? Because that is their damn choice, and that's what they want to do. And after the atrocities committed against the Indigenous people, if they do not want to stand for the Canadian anthem, nobody should say, Jack, you know what about it. Let them do it. And Martin will open the scoring here for the Ribbons. Sorry, I got a little excited there, Patty.
Not a problem at all. Hodo Martin with a huge shot from the outside. Nicely said, by the way, Jake.
Thank you.
Hodo Martin, again, one of these
another youngster.
Underage players, I believe 17, also plays for the Rebels. And he's been a little bit of a spark plug on the back end, getting his first goal, though, up front, running a little transition.
So, quick start here for the Rivermen. 1-0. And they have the ball after the face-off here in their good-looking white jersey. I love these white jerseys here for the Rivermen. Sharp, clean, and traditional. Year after year, they're coming back with these things. Look out up on mezzanine level here. As that ball skips out of play, it'll stay here with Six Nations and a fresh 30 to work with. This is Rivera. As he'll go to the lefty. And turned in the corner. Thought he had almost slowed down there, thinking that the moving pick call was coming to Riley Johnson, and then realized it wasn't and kept coming down the middle. So now it's Tuscarora. And James Chadwick, who comes in fourth here in Tomahawk scoring. And you look at their top four guys here, Pat, and not much separation between them. The top three guys, all with 11 points in Miller, Curry, and Patterson. And Chadwick just behind him at 10. So, we haven't really seen that through other teams, but four pretty consistent guys here on offense for Tuscarora.
And four guys that I think are going to be with this team for the foreseeable future. And talked about it in the last game we saw these guys play. Again, not the outcome or the result they had in this President's Cup appearance, but they want to come back with this group. It's going to teach them what it takes to get to the weekend.
Just want to double check that it is. Is that Randy Chrysler Jr. in goal here for the Tomahawks? Yes. I screwed it up last time as they changed jerseys on me before the game, but I believe that is, in fact, Randy Chrysler Jr. in the goal as he makes another stop right there. Wearing number 30 for Tuscarora. Quick turnover there on the Tomahawks, however. Six Nations out shooting them early in this one, 8-3. And they do have the 1-0 lead in what has been a very inconsistent tournament for Six Nations. They got off to that big win over Oakville to kick off their tournament, and you started to think, oh man, Six Nations is here and they're ready to compete, and then things kind of went the other way for them for a couple of games. 8-6 losses to Snake Island, then an 8-3 loss to Ladner. They followed that up with maybe their most impressive game against the Mohawks. 10-9 winners in that one. But then what was a real pivotal loss against the Edmonton Miners, 7-5. Just couldn't quite get over the hump from the Alberta champs, and that's why they find themselves at 2-3. And those losses against Edmonton and Snake Island, I think, are going to prove to be costly here for the Rivermen.
One of those tournaments of what could have been. We've seen flashes of brilliance and then just stagnant offense throughout many stretches of these games.
They go back to Dusty Hill in goal here today after a real good ball game from Troy Holachuk in the previous one. As everybody playing their sixth game now, as Kahnawake played early this morning, they will play late tonight as they're the final team to do the double dip. As look out here for Wayne Hill, who goes blindly over his shoulder but wide of the goal. And Tuscarora will take it back the other way. Ron John, rink wide. Buckshot. He'll load one up, and he hit the pipe. Rebound chance, stopped by Hill. As Napoleon was poaching around the top of the crease. After Buckshot's just been so snake bit this whole tournament.
I know.
So impressive. Everything, he's done everything except finish the ball. And that's got to be frustrating for him and his Tomahawk teammates. As Riley Johnson flip it over his shoulder, and that one will be snatched out of midair there by Chrysler Jr. And it's Kyle Henry wearing his head coach Darius Kilgore's 43. And now Patterson, who has been real impressive here for the Tomahawks, and he's got another. He's played defense, he's played offense, he's done it all for this Tuscarora team, and he ties up the game at 1.
12 points for Patterson. He was the player to watch coming into this tournament, leading them in scoring during that awesome playoff run. The scoring's impressive, but I totally agree with you. It's the fact how versatile he is, and
just got a motor on him, too. Never gets tired, it seems like. He stays out there for minutes on end sometimes.
And Coach Chrysler and Coach Kilgore have full faith in him in every single position. We've seen him kill penalties. We've seen him bid on the power play. The guy just simply does not stop.
Nick Miller, right up there in the scoring for the Tomahawks as well, is out there. He's wide open in the middle right now. But it's Chadwick with it. He'll send it across, slipping to the goal, and coming across to deliver a heavy shot there was Sherman Williams. Long feed for Martin, right on the money, and a good stop there for Chrysler Jr. He gets a tap on the head from Miller. End to end we go. Logan Monroe to John. And now Curry, one of those other guys, right there with 11 points. And here he is, shooting wide on the short side. And Dusty Hill will pounce behind his goal to trap that one as we hit 8.5 minutes in. As I can't believe it, Pat Gregoire. Final day of round-robin competition as the semifinals tomorrow. Bronze and gold medal games on Saturday here from the track. Then that's it. Prezzi's over. What do you got? You got Austin Owens running you food service now, Patty? What's going on here?
I don't know. Just a random bag just dropped off. We'll have to see if it.
I think we might have a bit of a loose connection on Patty's microphone. We'll see if we can get that touched up. As we'll carry on here in this first period. Shots now 11-7. And a turnover there on Tuscarora. A lead feed, tried to bring it in one-handed, did Williams. As he'll try and run it down on the boards now. You got anything in your mic now, Patty, or can you even hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you're sounding okay now. Maybe just a quick little loose connection there. As the Rivermen go to work offensively here with 8 on the shot clock. Winter Rivera over the shoulder, didn't miss by much on the short side. Is it plugged in? Does it have gas? Tomahawks with another possession on offense here with Miller starting things. They'll find a man on the crease. Maybe a little lack of concentration there from Jimerson, and ball turned over. Yeah, maybe numbers here for Six Nations. Martin. And ouch, going down a little awkwardly there. Looks to be okay as Goddard to Martin. The transition man with a shift of offense here. He's fourth in Six Nations scoring. Hesitation move on the crease. He's right there. And Chrysler Jr. will not move off his short pipe to make that stop.
He's been really sharp so far with 11
He's a big
saves.
goalie,
He's
Patty.
a big boy, takes up a lot of net, but moves pretty well in there. Sabu.
Bit of a slower pace here in the first period with these two teams here on day 5, and you can understand why. It's a taxing one as Patterson with a step-back bouncer caught inside pipe and then goes out. He is dangerous. And he's got it in his pocket again. He'll get a clear-out pick this time. He'll come to the near side. It's Chadwick. And he gets knocked down as the ball rolls into the crease of Hill. He'll load it up and fire up floor with Rivermen, 2 of them up here. And that pass didn't connect. As Oakley Thomas tried to throw it in front. And Henry, just our second look at Tuscarora this week, Pat. But again, you look at all the scores here, and they've had a couple of blowout games, no question about it, but they've had some real tight ones that could have gone either way as well here. And they're right in this thing as we approach the 12-minute mark here, Six Nations and Tuscarora. 2 of the Six Nations battling here at the Prezi. Oneida, Seneca, Onondaga, Cayuga, Mohawk, the other. Six Nations encompassing all on the Grand River. Just doing a little studying last night, Patty.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Pass into the high slot. 6 on the clock. Ball tipped away. And Jake Kranz pressuring will force the turnover and the shot clock violation here on the Tomahawks. Well, just past 5 o'clock Eastern here on the East Coast. Big hello to everybody who's tuned in, wherever that may be here across Turtle Island. A little afternoon lacrosse on the West Coast. Over the top shelf there. Missed everything. And Buddies will battle. Ball kicked ahead here. Chance is going to come. And right in. Kritkowski puts the Tomahawks in front.
Kritkowski, the pride of Orchard Park, New York. Get the tables out, Bills Mafia. A big goal goes right off the leg and in. Probably one that Dusty Hill's going to want back, but a big transition goal here for Tuscarora to take the lead.
What does Orchard Park sound familiar? That's where the Bills play?
That's where the Bills play.
Okay.
Home of the Buffalo Bills.
I knew that wasn't crazy. Maybe not for long, though. They need a new stadium there.
They're getting one right across the road.
Okay. Bad angle shot there. Rebound chance there. Spun wide. On a pretty good look from Kuminga, who scored one of the goals of the tournament yesterday from his backside. As the Rivermen account put that up on their social feed. If you want to go check that out, give Six Nations Rivermen a follow on Instagram. And you can see that one as answering back is Goddard. As he finds a little room down low past Chrysler Jr. and ties up the game at 2.
Goddard really heating up over the last few games. Now he's up to 8 points. He was the player of the game last game. A lot of the reasons because how hard he works without the ball in his stick or to get some of his players. But this one here is just a feat of athleticism. Beats his man underneath, takes to the net. And a real casual goal to tie this up.
So coming up later to finish out the round-robin competition will be Kahnawake and Oakville. Ladner winners earlier today improved their record to 5-1. If Oakville gets the win, they will be the 1 seed, Ladner 2. If Kahnawake wins or gets the tie, it's Oakville 2, Ladner 1. As it was Oakville over Ladner last night in that head-to-head matchup. 10-7 the final in that one. There's another good stop there from Chrysler Jr. Steers it out for Lane Smith. He's got a little lane. Down to the crease. Ball into the corner. Lots of time on the shot clock here for Six Nations. Rivera. And you're talking 5 games, 6 games in 5 days here. Oh, what it must be like to be 16 years old. Probably not that big of a deal for the young legs of winter. Not compared to maybe a 37-year-old David Brock, let's say.
Yeah, I know the older guys definitely taking care of their bodies, heading up over to Sports Medicine Wellness Center here at the track.
And heck, Petty, I've considered taking a visit over there myself, and we're not even down on the turf.
I know, me too, but Winter Rivera, just probably a year ago, he was buzzing around at Ontario qualifiers and Whitby and playing multiple games a day. This is just status quo for the young guy.
And then also likes a little pigskin in his time away from the game of lacrosse as a running back.
And when you said that yesterday, I was like, okay, I totally could see that.
Yeah. Martin will run it down out near center. Tomahawks come off the bench. Martin just keeps the motor going. Looked like a penalty call there, and it will be made. As we do again have 3 officials on the floor. I'm kind of hoping that might be booster juice in that paper bag right there. Under 5 to go.
It's not.
Okay.
Confirmed. But it is, though. Pigskin's been brought up a couple times now. I know head coach Roger Chrysler is a Buffalo Bills season ticket holder. So when the new stadium comes, he's going to have to renew those seats.
You better buddy up, Gregoire.
Oh, we always talk Bills when we're in Halifax. It's a big topic of discussion for sure.
Power play here for Six Nations in this 2-2 game as we're under 5 minutes to go in the first. Little 1-2 across the top. Rivera looked low. Good pad stop from Chrysler Jr. And a battle for the loose ball on top of the crease will squirt free. And a nice little scoop off the turf with the Woody for Tyler Kahn as he gets it ahead quickly here for Ron John. A dirt to the middle. And a good strip check there from Elijah Brown. And he'll come up with that ball. And still time to work with here on the man advantage. Wesley Whitlow, Lane Smith, Goddard. And you got Wayne Hill out there as well who will come up to set a pick. The shot comes quickly from Lane Smith and right back to him. He overran it. Now it'll come back to him again. Both 30, under a minute to go in the power play now. There's a little motion here from Whitlow this time. Bounces friendly for Goddard. He won't try and force things quite yet. Whitlow at the point. Over the shoulder, down to Rivera, and didn't get the good release off there as it goes straight into the carpet and out.
Nice penalty kill there by Patterson. So impressive how active he is on the back door, and then you look up at his numbers, and he also, right up there in points for the team. I know he's had a cup of coffee with New York back in 2020. I believe he went to camp with Rochester before. I would not be surprised if we see him come this fall competing for an NL roster spot.
Good shot off the dasher board and into the ceiling. Just 10 seconds remain in the penalty now. Yeah, looks like Tuscarora will be able to kill it off. And now they got to be aware of the man coming out of the penalty box as it swings open. And they bring a man out the back gate smartly there to save a little real estate. As Chrysler Jr. made the stop and a good lead feed. On the mark here for Printup. James Chadwick. He'll be joined by Miller. Curry out as well. Ball will go far side, but it didn't get through cleanly. And it's knocked down and scooped up here by Thomas. 3 wide for the Rivermen. And then Martin dropped an easy one. He'll get it back, however. And both teams will make a couple of changes here late in this first period now with 2:10 to go. Rivermen out shooting Tuscarora by double here, 20-10, but the score 2-2. Whitlow off the post. Reset the shot clock. Now a cut off ball. And can't touch that ball as he's through the crease. Hard push along the wall, but good run there from Vandersam. Now Patterson, quick juke. No lane available yet. Patterson out wide this time. Look at the speed from Anthony Patterson as he covered a lot of real estate in a short amount of time and got a pretty good look. Dalton Silver. He'll stay out for a shift of offense. Smith, a hard feed for Goddard. Rivera will pop open for a pass. One-on-one on a spin move. Rivera into the middle. He'll fire over the top. Chrysler the stop. No rebound available. And here come the Tomahawks quickly. Kwiatkowski, who's got the second of the day here for Tuscarora. And now Marvin Curry. Still making changes are the Tomahawks and down to 10 on the shot clock. A little up pick here, roll to the goal, pass across, 1 on the clock and out of time. And it's just a little unaware, and now Martin up here quickly. Oh, he had some room and Chrysler leaning the wrong way and just missed. And now does Tuscarora want timeout? No signal from Darius Kilgore yet as he's coaching up on the bench, and now he has a look at the clock. Goaltender still in the net here as they're just going to play straight up 5-on-5. And that might have been a missed opportunity there for Tuscarora. Lots of time to call the timeout and pull the goaltender. But time expires here in the opening 20 minutes. Rivermen outshoot the Tomahawks by a pretty wide margin here, 22-12. But they're tied where it matters most, 2-2 after 20 here on day 5. We'll take a 10-minute break from the track here in Oakville. We'll be back on the YouTube channel of the JVI Sports Network in 10 minutes' time. Stick around. Welcome back to the President's Cup here in Oakville on the JVI Sports Network. Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire with you and set to go here for period number 2 between the Tomahawks and Rivermen. Tied up at 2. And blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. As the opening faceoff comes free. And a battle ensues for this loose ball. I think the picture has become a little more clear in the intermission, Pat, as we work a little closer here to the end of day 5. You want to break this down?
Do we have enough time in between play? I think the easiest way is that based on
our information,
correct.
Look out. Tomahawks score. It's Napoleon in front. Tuscarora 3-2.
It's a nice out shot from Napoleon. Absolute dynamite from the outside. That is a deep shot. From distance from Napoleon. Regaining the lead is Tuscarora.
Telling you what, I mean, not that I have any skin in this whatsoever, Pat, but I don't like to see a team come to the Prezi and go home winless. I kind of feel like I'm leaning Tomahawks here. No disrespect whatsoever to 6. But as we understand it, both these teams are on the outside looking in. So maybe a little moral victory here for Tuscarora might be nice.
They've worked so hard in each and every game. They've been battle tested. You're right, it would be a shame to see them go home empty-handed.
And, you know, I think this is, I should probably go back and count, but I think this is my 7th or maybe potentially my 8th President's Cup that I've done. And I can't remember another Prezi where not only has there not been maybe 1 or 2 clear-cut favorites in a tournament, but the parity here between all 7 teams has just been remarkable. I know the 0-5 record, you can just kind of wipe that away because the Tomahawks have been real competitive here, and the way that these scores have gone, a 1-goal win here, a 2-goal win there, I can't recall another President's Cup being this evenly matched throughout the entirety of it.
We've only had a few blowouts, right? Like yesterday, the furthest. We'll get to that in a second.
Maybe a chance here in transition, but butting hooking as Jake Krantz.
I think the biggest winning margin was 2 yesterday. It seemed like every single
all 4 of them were good.
Came down to the wire, and that kind of was just a testament to how
10-7 Oakville. So 3, but I think it was a needless empty netter at the end of the game by Slade with like 4 seconds left.
Exactly. So every single game coming down to the wire, I really feel I agree the sentiments, and the parity certainly is here. Of course, this is my first President's Cup, and it's been an unbelievable experience. What a tournament this is.
It's been a lot of fun all week long, and the best yet to come as Elijah Brown found himself open right in the danger zone, and he goes low past Chrysler Jr. to tie up the game at 3.
Most of the goals we've seen Elijah Brown score in this tournament have been blasts from the outside, but this time he gets it done on the crease, keeping his feet out of it. Nice heads-up play, great cut, and a great finish on the inside. It's unfortunate for Six Nations that they are going to be out. And you almost, I don't know how you make this tournament longer, but you feel if they had maybe 1 or 2 more round-robin games.
I think that's the last team. Any of these teams want is this tournament to be longer.
But it seems like their offense is now finally clicking and coming together.
Yeah. Well, you really go back to that Edmonton game yesterday, and that was the big one for both of those teams, and it was the Miners that came out on top. And they looked to have found their stride early this morning against the Mohawks as well. Triolo, Anderson with big games in that. They put up 15. And regardless of who they face in those semifinals, assuming that they get in, it's looking like right now, depending on what happens here tonight, Oakville Ladder 1-2, Snake Island, Edmonton 3-4. I think there's one scenario where Edmonton finishes 3, but Snake Island looking like the potential 3 seed here. either way, you're going to have to beat somebody good to get yourself into the final.
No doubt.
That's the bottom line.
We don't have info yet, but it did not look good for Snake Island's goaltender, Nick DeMood.
Oh, man, that was tough to watch after such a marvelous tournament for Nick DeMood. He was helped off the turf in the game previous, no weight on his leg, and he went into the locker room mid-period, did not return to the bench even, and you feel bad for him and Snake Island, and you wonder how much of a chance are they going to have with Kobe Johnson in the goal. We'll see. I mean, they still played Ladner to a 9-8 game, and Kobe looked pretty good, so not all hope lost for Six Nations, but they may have lost their MVP.
Difficult blow, no doubt. And I think when you look at the minors, you said it, if Anderson and Triolo can go off, they are a dangerous team. The teams that have slowed them down have slowed those two guys and basically invite the other players on the floor to beat them.
And then who do you go to in goal if you're Edmonton? They start Hebert today, and
he was phenomenal.
And they've had McLeod, have some outstanding performances, and that's going to be a tough decision there for Jordan Cornfield. As Rod Squire finds Rivera, and then Martin will bounce one and make a change with 18 on the shot clock. Up top it comes for Lane Smith. There's a lean in on his man, got a good pick. Shot clock ticking down. Rivera right on, and Chrysler Jr. will kick it to the corner. Rivera in after it quickly. And Whitlow will follow up and come up with another possession. There's a guy that has steadily improved throughout the week in Wesley Whitlow. As he finds an open man, scores! Mason Hill. Pay dirt. 4-3 Six Nations.
It's a great outside shot from Mason Hill. I believe that's his first of the tournament, and it's a slow change. Just Tuscarora caught on their heels. Look how deep they get all that space up top.
Good seal from Smith.
Real nice seal from Smith, and it just frees up enough space for that shot to come through the top.
Kaminga yanks it free, but it's Tuscarora up with the loose. Now find themselves down a goal.
Tuscarora plays their best lacrosse, especially defense, when they're on their toes. They're putting out pressure. They're dictating the way and the pace of the game. That last shift, they kind of got way too deep.
Ooh, Dusty Hill down. Does the Snow Angel, and I think a good sign here for Tuscarora, the fact that they haven't dug themselves a big hole early in this game, because that's kind of been their issues. They get down and then they have to claw their way back, which they've done a number of times. But here, it's kind of been back and forth since the get-go, and they're right in this lacrosse game.
Yeah, the lulls have been their Achilles heel, allowing teams to go on runs and not have that counterpunch. Haven't seen it here.
Wayne Hill, after a loose ball, does well to come up with it. Look at the big man as he'll bounce a ball low, and a dip and dunk attempt from Whitlow at the expiration of the shot clock will end up in the corner. So Tuscarora ball once again as the shots still continue to be skewed in favor of the Rivermen here. Out by 10 in that department. There's a bouncer. Good stop there from Dusty Hill as he went down and then realized the bounce was coming up and flexed up a shoulder in time. Tomahawks maintain possession, however, and they have a fresh clock to work with. Backdoor feed, too high. Curry will send it home. Got Hill to drop as he rose that underhand release under the crossbar and into the goal.
Silky smooth like butter. That's the release that Curry has from distance. Don't know what it is with people with the last name Curry.
There's
train it.
There was something in waiting there for you, Pat. You nailed it. From Curry distance. Could have been a two-pointer. Here come the Tomahawks off the face-off win in this tie game once again. 7 minutes into the second. And Ron John will start the offense. Up pick, a good one. feet in front. Good help defense once again, this time from Kuminga. That's the second time Tomahawk's been looking over his shoulder and had his clock clean from the defense coming across, and he's hurt. And we'll get a water break here for the goaltenders as well. You can tell, Patty. You just, down Tuscarora staying at the hotel, a few Oakville guys as well, and you'd be down in the lobby or down for breakfast or whatever the case may be, walking around. And you see guys ice bags on, wrapped up, limping. I've seen some crutches. Oh, man. Is the President's Cup ever a physical, taxing tournament?
No, it certainly is, and Jimmy Chadwick is a tough customer. So for him to stay down, he has to be in a world of pain. Looks like he's walking back to the bench. I don't know if maybe got the wind knocked out of him or what it may be, but he's already back on the bench waiting to grab his spot in line.
Unbelievable. As Curtis Dixon tweeting out last night that his AA career now over, Pat, and went on a bit of a spiel about the officiating in the AA, and we got a little chat group going with some of our peers, and my comment was maybe Curtis should come to the President's Cup and play some senior B lacrosse and see what it's actually like to play at this level. And all in all, I think this not only is it, I think, the hardest tournament to win in box lacrosse and to play in, but probably the hardest tournament to officiate as well, with all the things going on. You have 4 or 5 different leagues all coming together, playing different styles of lacrosse. You got the wooden sticks, you got the day after day, you got the officials who come together from different leagues to referee together. And it, like I said, there is nothing harder or more physically demanding than the President's Cup. And another good stop there for Chrysler Jr.
It's a grind. That's what makes this thing so special. Talking to Sean Grenier before this, walking in before the last game.
And not to take anything away from Dixon, who takes an absolute beating in the WLA, and I think he's got some valid points on, maybe cleaning some stuff up on how things are called, especially against some star players. But this here at the Prezi is a different level. Shot clock will expire here on Tuscarora. Hodo Martin down to the crease for Justin. He'll look to the back door, and Goddard was there streaking to the goal. But unable to bring in the pass as Anthony Patterson will stride through center. He'll drop it off. And there's a chance right on the other side of the crease, and they'll say off the goaltender and out, keep it here with the Tomahawks.
A nice job by Ron John to corral that ball, get a shot on net. A good call by the officials. I do believe that went off just the toe of Dusty Hill.
Brent up out there for a shift. Tuck and go for Chadwick, and he stepped on the top of the crease before the ball went in. A lead feed, and a little low and a little behind his intended recipient. And Matt Miller, who just couldn't bring it in. So a quick possession there on the Rivermen as we approach halfway through this period in game. Shots tightening up just slightly here, 29-21. But we are deadlocked at 4 and a good one going between the Tomahawks of Tuscarora and the Rivermen of Six Nations. And Justin Martin, look out at the Tomahawk bench, a little frustration there. Shot over the top in Chrysler Jr. It'd be neat to see a kilometer tracker on Justin Martin this week. That guy has put some distance on those legs.
Logging minutes indeed. Could say the same for Patterson for this Tuscarora team.
Indeed.
It seems like the guy just doesn't get off the floor.
Whitlow will have to go reclaim a ball along this sidewall. He'll swim a man. And still packing that thing as now he'll dish off. Elijah Brown will kick it to Rivera, and here's Wayne Hill, who's got a rocket for a shot. He'll power his way right down the pipe. Fired low, and they'll say reset the shot clock. Man, he is light on his feet for a big fella, is Wayne Hill. And he's got it again. Step back shot this time, and that one deflected. And now it's Lane Smith. He'll fire towards the goal, and Chrysler Jr. with a toast up. Look out. That one up near our broadcast location. And it's a souvenir.
Thought we were going to get a Lucy there.
I was ready. Whitlow with room. He'll crank, and he hit the post. Rivermen pressing here to go back in front. In their third 30-second reset. Bouncer, it's in. Mason Hill just missed earlier. No, he scored earlier. Now he's got a second.
Second indeed of the game, and this one's a beauty. Again, Tuscarora just getting caught.
Oh, you
packing it in. And you can't put a ball any better. Oh, my goodness.
Little Stephen Keogh sweep there as well for Mason Hill after. And that was right inside the low pipe far side.
And it's something that you and Shanny have talked about quite a bit during this tournament. The guys that don't need to just put everything behind it, they place it. And that's exactly what he did there. Saw a small window and just popped that ball right in the bottom corner. And Mason Hill's a guy at 0 points coming to this game. Now he's walking away with 2 goals.
Here's Martin with a look. Chrysler the stop in. You know, the shots were, it was an 8-goal spread just minutes ago, but with that extended possession on offense, it's back up to now a 13-shot spread here for Six Nations, and that's how quickly it can happen. And you wear down a defense like that, good chance you're coming up with something good. And Mason Hill, with his second of the game, has Six Nations back in front. 8 on the shot clock, switch hands into the middle. Chadwick tried it. But the possession comes up empty. And Martin will wait for some support. Whitlow to the ball. He'll swing it out wide for Goddard. Wayne Smith, 10 on the shot clock. Works in low. Hill loads, fires. And Chrysler Jr. standing tall, makes another save. It's Tuscarora's Evan Printup. Who's going to get a look? And Dusty Hill had to be sharp on that one.
Evan Printup, one of these other players that went through the Seneca Junior B War Chiefs program.
Rolling back and forth, and now Rivera, who came through the Six Nations Rebels Junior B program. There's a reaching shot there, handled by Chrysler Jr.
And no knock on the Rebs. They're an unbelievable Junior B team. But I don't know if he's going to be playing on that team for much longer, unless he wants to.
I think he had the opportunity to go up, but as just a 16-year-old and probably a lot of friends on that Junior B team, talking to his dad, kind of wanted to get his feet wet before stepping up with the Arrows.
Smart choice. He got a lot of confidence. And
I said, never mind. Why don't you come out west, throw some purple and gold on?
Tampering. You heard it here. Tampering.
I received no paycheck from any team.
But he did get some call-ups with the A-team, and you know, obviously showing here in Senior B that he's not afraid.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually unbelievable for it. And it's not like he is an oversized 16-year-old. Maybe undersized, if anything. As Martin, usually sure-handed, will have to double-clutch that one. He's got Whitlow off the bench, but he's covered off. But to come here at that size, at 16, and play in the President's Cup and just look undeterred about any of it has been so impressive. Can't overstate it. Elijah Brown. Wesley Whitlow on the tuck and go. Bouncer. No good. And Tomahawks a chance to tie here with 5:40 to go as Patterson with a late whistle here. I'm not sure why that blew. But they will continue on. And they got a late reset on the shot clock as well as by the time they were up in the offensive zone, only 3 seconds had expired. Your side feed. Good kick stop from Dusty Hill. The shovel ahead on a nice little one-touch. And this is Kaminga. We'll drop it back. And that's a warm-up shot. And Chrysler Jr. plenty warm here with 5 minutes to go in the second. What do you say, Penny? Put that muffin back in the oven.
At least that one had a little bit of speed behind it, but again, right in the middle of the goalie. Take a little off.
Pick your spot.
Exactly.
Down the crease. Here's a chance. Oh, a spinner. It's in. Clip it. Is it Curry? It is. What a goal.
Chef Curry once again cooking up some magic, this time from the inside.
How do you not shoot it right there?
Runs out of real estate.
I mean, that hair wires goal last night, maybe the filthiest thing we've seen here at the Prezi. That one ranks right up there. Kaminga from his backside. We have seen some incredible goals this week, and we're not done yet.
Pure filth.
An early move. We'll give the ball to the Tomahawks, who have tied this lacrosse game up at 5 once again. And it has been a one-goal affair the entire way. Nobody's had a 2-goal lead here. Unless our stats department calls me a liar. But I'm pretty sure it's been back and forth one way or the other here since the get-go. Miller down to the crease. Chance again. Chadwick! And he's fired up about that one as now Tuscarora in front.
Back and forth we go as Tuscarora once again regains the lead. Look at that inside cut from Chadwick. He waits. Ooh, and that's an unfortunate bounce, I think.
Oh, close to the crease as well.
Real close there, but
it'll count.
Hodo Martin blows a tire, which allows Chadwick. Oh, that is close. But no reviews here at the Prezi, so it's going to stand.
By the way, I was responsible for one stats department anecdote this morning. I never got credit for it from Shanny or Lacrosse Boston.
Gutless. Absolutely gutless.
Ron John with a riser, not missing by much. It was Del Bianco's birthday. We're Facebook friends.
Oh,
not
okay.
a big deal.
Not a big deal.
And that one. And how about Del Bianco? I mean,
clinic.
Not a lot of time for the backup for the Pioneers here at the President's Cup with Del Bianco in goal.
Yeah, I don't know who was in the YouTube comments in yesterday's game, but they said being Ladner's backup has to be the best job in the world.
Well, I don't know. I would put the official over there in the penalty box
right
up there.
Yeah,
with
that's
that
your
as
dream
well.
job. Forgot about that one.
Penalty call coming here to Tuscarora now.
Professional clipboard holder.
And the shot comes late. The save is made, and here comes the penalty call now. As it'll come with 3:17 to go in the period. A chance for Six Nations for a late power play here to tie this game back up once again at 6. As Kyle Henry has a seat in the penalty box, Dusty Hill will make his way back to the Six Nations goal. And here comes the Six Nations power play, led by Elijah Brown at the point. Wayne Hill and Whitlow on the shooters. Rivera down on the crease along with Lane Smith.
Nice stick from Patterson.
He is just every backhand shot right on Chrysler Jr. the stop. And there's Patterson with the loose ball, and he gets the quick whistle, and he might have numbers here. 2-on-1 as in he comes. He's got Jimerson with them. It's Patterson all the way. And Hill no trouble with that one.
That's one of those instances, again, you've mentioned it a few times if you noticed that players are going in with what they already plan on. And he saw Hill give him all that right side, maybe thinking he's going to take it away. So he goes left side. Hill doesn't move. And he completely played right into what Hill was trying to do.
Still lots of time to work with here on the man up. And Elijah Brown right on. Good stop from Chrysler. Juniors look good here for the Tomahawks to start this game.
Real sharp.
And we're well into it now with just over 2 minutes to go in the second. Now we talked a little bit about it early in the week, Pat. It's, again, just our second game here for the Tomahawks, but what a thrill it must be for some of these young players on this team to learn from the living legend himself in Darius Kilgore. One of the best ever to pick up a lacrosse stick. And just a wealth of knowledge upside in that brain.
Yeah, he's innovated the game in so many different ways. You think about
the new defensive style, it's not new anymore, but, essentially he brought a brand new defensive system into the National Lacrosse League that essentially every team started to play, and it was because of Darius. And you want to talk about a guy that could do it all on the floor.
Yeah, they don't quite make him like him anymore, do they?
Well, long look up here. Yes, he's got him. And Miller stopped on the doorstep by Dusty Hill. That would have been a big one, shorthanded. Actually, they're back to even strength now. And I'm not sure if it would have counted as a shorthanded goal, but essentially it was, as we're into the final minute. Of course, those videos of Six Nations in New Westminster circulating around the socials as the Chiefs and Salmon Bellies will hook up once again in the Mann Cup, just as they did back in the mid-90s. Here's another look for the Tomahawks, and Dusty Hill, another clutch stop.
A great save by Hill. As Jimmy Chadwick with the hot stick.
And they're giving up some chances here, are the Rivermen, in transition late in this period. But they'll get a controlled offensive possession here with about a 10-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Lane Smith on a quick tuck. And Kreiser Jr. with an excellent elbow stop. And then through the crease, first to touch. No, Rivermen have it, and they call timeout.
As Stu Montour is going to grab his clipboard and try to chalk something up with 20.1 seconds remaining. I don't know if you saw a chance to see what the
stats department, in fact, telling us 1-goal lead has been the biggest for either team all game.
There you go. Don't doubt
Matt
yourself.
Carrick,
Jumbo.
our stats department. That's how you do it over there, Carrick. A little credit for the stats department. Semi-finals tomorrow, Pat Gregoire. Gold medal and bronze medal matchups on Saturday, 4 and 7 o'clock Eastern time. Correct on that, Rachel? 3 and 7. Thank you very much. And that's Eastern time, people. And what we do know is Ladner and Oakville are either going to finish first or second. Snake Island, Edmonton, unless something really crazy happens, third and fourth. Most likely Snake Island third, most likely Edmonton fourth. Six Nations out, Tuscarora out, and Kahnawake all but done as well. Correct?
Per this
document
I have in my hands.
This is from Lacrosse Canada, so we got to put the trust in them. 5 seconds to go. Smith with a low drive, and one more stop for Kreiser Jr. before the period comes to an end. The Tomahawks will take a 1-goal lead into the third period, looking for their first win of the President's Cup. They're 20 minutes from it. And we'll have it for you when we return in 10 minutes' time right here on the home of the Prezi, the JVI Sports Network. We are back. We are live inside the track known as the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre here in Oakville, Ontario for the President's Cup. Final period of Game 3 of Day 5 between the Tuscarora Tomahawks and the Six Nations Rivermen. Jake Elliott, Pat Gregor with you. Teams are at center, set to go. Blow the whistle. Let's play some lacrosse. Tomahawks with the 1-goal lead in what has been a back-and-forth affair all game long here, and expect more of the same in this third period. An early turnover here, however. As don't forget, one more round-robin game to come, 8 p.m. Eastern, just under a couple hours from now, as the Mohawks of Ganawage will take on the Oakville Rock. And something on the line there. Oakville needs the win to finish first. If they tie or lose, it'll be the defending champion Pioneers who will claim first seed. Looking like Snake Island third, Edmonton fourth, as this game does not have a lot of relevance. Well, of course, to Tuscarora, who are winless, but maybe not for long, as they could get one here today. But Six Nations, even if they win this game, Pat, the tiebreakers just do not fall in their favor with the teams that they need to have to get over the hump here. Losses to Snake Island and Edmonton, very costly for Six Nations.
Yeah, you got to assume Stu Montour and his coaching staff are wondering, if we just split those two games, is it enough to get us into the mix for that tiebreaker? Of course, they've got bigger issues at hand right now as they're down 1 goal and have to go up against a Tuscarora power play that's looked pretty good so far.
And they got another look here on the man advantage early in this third period as Anthony Patterson will duck in and look for a little floater to the far top corner that missed by a couple inches. Curry, who had a beautiful goal in that second period, denied by Dusty Hill on that one. 44 shots here for Six Nations through just a couple of periods in a bit. Tomahawk sitting on 30. As Goddard will do a lap around the track here. As he looks at the shot clock that reads 6, and he'll just take it right in the corner and try and muck it right there. Ball squirts free. And the Tomahawks will bring it away. As 3 Rivermen already back on defense. As Ron John will play on the power play here with Patterson, Curry. Here comes Miller. And you got Carson Reese out there as well. And I want to give my condolences to the Reese family. Saw a real heartfelt post from Rylan Reese. And Carson, the younger brother who lost their grandfather recently, the Hammerling. And an absolute legend. And I know Carson must be playing with a heavy heart here at the President's Cup. Elijah Brown. As the Rivermen look to kill off the remaining time here. And they won't leave Tuscarora with much. So an important penalty kill early in the period here for Six Nations will be successful. How's the chat looking, Patty? Friendly?
Very friendly.
Good to hear.
Quite pro Six Nations right now.
Stats department concurs. Down to the crease. And Chadwick
And the only reason
couldn't keep his toes out.
There's the only reason why, and hello JVI Sports Network, as you leave a comment saying hello, Pat. I think the only reason there's not more support for Tuscarora in the chat is because a lot of their fans are right below us.
They got the cowbells, the clappers, everything going here at the truck. Oh, a little bit of a kick there for Ron Johns. He tried to, I don't know if that was to the ball or to the stick. He kind of whiffed on it either way. Well, a clear kicking motion there from Ron John.
Yeah, Tuscarora, one of the best traveling teams in terms of fan bases that we've had at the Prezi. You found that T-shirt yet?
You know what? I did. Well, I should say my better half did. Unfortunately, they did not bring jumbo size for old jumbo. So I'm going to have to go to the Instagram page and order one right back from the nation of Tuscarora.
Let me know if there's any mediums.
Yeah,
I could probably use one.
I think they got something that'll slide over you.
Perfect.
Ask for Kelly. She's the one with the clappers down there.
Okay.
Pat.
Awesome.
Scoop and go. And maybe a chance here. Scores! Johnny Jimerson. And it's the first 2-goal lead of the game, and it comes from Jimerson and the Tomahawks.
It's a great goal in transition from Jimerson. Looks off his man and just sends that to the lower half of the goal. Completely fools Dusty Hill. Great shot in transition. Man, this Tuscarora team, just so feisty,
relentless,
so athletic. They just do not stop coming at you.
And they'll come up with possession after the goal from Jimerson and go right back to work on offense here. Into the middle, and Hill with a nice response after giving up a goal. Tomahawks looking for their first win of the week here, 15 minutes away from it with a 2-goal lead. Still work to be done, however. As you know, the Rivermen aren't going away in this one.
No chance.
Elijah Brown knocked his man down. Rivera will look for a seam and tested Chrysler Jr. from long range, who responds with a stop of his own. A little slow to get back to his feet, but he did the job.
That was Jimerson's, not only his first goal of the tournament, first point.
And now he can go back to Tuscarora, knowing he registered on the score sheet here at the President's Cup. Patterson slicing in, and a shot there hit Hill. I'm not sure he stopped it, but he kept it out. And now Buckshot. He'll go for a run low. Looks for a screen, pick and roll, and that one ends up in the crease for Rod Squire Jr. So Six Nations trying to cut into this 2-goal deficit now. Rivera, feet in front, there's Wayne Hill. And that happened very quickly as Wayne Hill was left unmarked down on the crease, and no mistake over the shoulder of Chrysler Jr.
4 tucks. That's a goal a game now for Wayne Hill. And you can't leave this guy all alone. For the big frame he has, man, he's got silky mitts, great finish.
And the footwork is good too on Hill.
Yeah, you said it. Very light on his feet despite having that big frame of his. Agile.
There you go. A battle at center. Kaminga brings it out, but it's the Tomahawks that come away with it. Yeah, they got it. As running for space there is Van der Zaan.
I know you said not much on the line here for this game for these two teams.
Oh, some pride, certainly.
Pride for sure, and maybe a bowl of chowder between Stu Montour and Coach Chrysler, who are both on the bench for the Halifax Thunderbirds.
There's one thing. I was back coaching at the North American Indigenous Games with Team BC last month in Halifax. Never got the chowder, Patty. There was so much going on, and we weren't real close to the hotel. It didn't happen, and I still have yet to get to the nest for a T-Birds game.
There's your excuse. Now you got to get down.
I'm working on Steyers a little bit to see if we can make something happen. There's, of course, his boy, Wagaliot Bo Hunter, played out west in the WLA this year with the Burnaby Lakers. And Kurt, obviously a massive supporter here of lacrosse and Indigenous lacrosse in particular. And, of course, his boy, Wagaliot. Kurt would literally fly in for all Burnaby home games, stay overnight, and then out the next morning. I don't know how much time he spent on airlines over the summer, but it was a lot. Now, we haven't seen Kurt here, but that's because I'm pretty sure he's off in the bush hunting for elk right now.
I was going to say, I'm sure he also parlayed those trips to Burnaby with a fishing trip or a hunting trip somewhere.
Yeah, he's an outdoorsman.
Bow hunter also with talking with the Rivermen. He did win a bronze medal last year with this team.
Indeed he did. As Justin Martin with a nice defensive effort gets the quick whistle, and he's got a little speed. We'll let the Tomahawks recover defensively in this one-goal game now. And it has been tight since the onset as Rivera, right near the crease, manages to evade it, but runs himself into the end wall here and will be stripped of the ball. As all the while, the shot clock ticks down to 5. Good defensive effort here from Tuscarora. And that gets a rise out of the Tomahawk faithful.
Tuscarora has been giving their cheering section a lot of reasons to make some noise the way they've been playing today. But this is the way that they played all tournament long.
It really has. I honestly believe that the fact that they did not get down 3-4 goals early in this game has been the difference.
There's no doubt about that.
Started on time in this one. There's a battle for there on the carpet. And up comes Martin with it. He'll feed across to Hodo, who tried to smack it in the goal. And then gets blown up in behind the net. And Six Nations will get a possession. Here's Lane Smith wide open, streaking to the net, and Chrysler Jr. A big time stop there. Long feet up and a tough one to handle over the shoulder blindly. But able to run it down in the corner. Now Patterson open. Excuse me, it was not Patterson, as it sure looked like him, but not even close, as it's 17 for the Tomahawks. As unfortunately, 11 as my eyes deceive me once again. Snow on the take. Talk about butchering a goal right there, Patty.
It's a long week. It's a long week, Jumbo.
And like I said, just the second look here at Tuscarora all week long. As now look out here, it was Wesley Whitlow up on the limp and back to the Six Nations bench and struggling mightily.
That's not good.
And I don't know if that's cramping, calf muscle, ankle. That could be a number of things for 81.
Now, Whitlow not filling the net by any stretch of the imagination, but he's an important player to this roster.
Ooh. A vicious chop there from Kaminga. But it'll be Tomahawk possession as we hit the halfway mark of this third period. And Tuscarora trying to steer home their first victory of the week. Into the middle, across the top all the way. Can't shoot that one. And then the ball dropped, as they'll have to restart things. A reaching shot there, got through, and Hill able to kick it away. Oh, a hard collision. And coming up with the ball nicely after that is Jake Kranz, who's been a physical player. Another one of those long-time Rivermen players.
He's been laying the lumber like that for a long time with this.
I want to say Kranz was at the 2014 President's Cup way back when in Coquitlam. Not so long he's been hanging around. No numbers for the Tomahawks here. Oakville and Ganawage come up at 8 o'clock Eastern here on the JVI Sports Network to round up round robin competition. And first place on the line for Oakville. Martin evades a couple of Tomahawks and pushes ahead. 4-on-3. Here's Elijah Brown. He'll drop it off to Rivera. He'll dart into the middle, trying to get inside, all tangled up. Keeps possession, however. And Smith will have to take it off the sideboards. He'll spin off a check, a shot right on. And Chrysler Jr. with one of his better stops in this game right there. As the game opens up here a little bit in the mid stages of period 3.
41 stops for Chrysler Jr. And that one maybe the nicest, but also probably the most important so far.
Bit of a cross up there on that pass. Kilgore says, come to the bench. Let's not get caught in transition. as Patterson can't hit the target from center. And the Rivermen will take it as we're under 8 to go. 7-6 Tuscarora. Whitlow back out. Good to see. Shovel feet in front, knocked down nicely. As Krakowski broke it up, but then threw it away. And that's not what you want to be doing in the third period of a one-goal game. Every possession, if nothing else, even if you don't score, you're working off at least 20 to 30 seconds of game clock. Hill on the back pedal. Pick and roll with Smith. Good trail check there. And the Tomahawks will get out of their own zone. Monroe will settle things down. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Chadwick. And now Miller, he's been a little quiet, and you expect him to show up before this one's over. That won't get the job done, as it'll stay in play here, however. No time left on the shot clock. And they'll make the change and bring out the defense. 47-37, your shots on goal now. In favor of Six Nations, but they're down 1. Oh, good two-man game was there, but a great recovery. As Jimerson broke it up. As that was going to be a good look for Johnson. Now John, quick move, corkscrew off the crossbar. As he got Dusty Hill to come off his short side pipe just a little bit, but couldn't beat the iron.
That was a great move. Beat the goalie, don't beat the pipe.
Just a quick little pump to the far side to open him up. Rivera on a swim and a spin. Well, back away now, and here comes a hard pick from Whitlow. Cross it goes, and the good look there was available for Mason Hill, looking for his hat trick, and that's one where he's got to test the goaltender.
And it looks like he's going to stay here with Six Nations.
I think maybe a back-in call, as we have 6 to play now. There's the crowd right into this one in this one-goal lacrosse game. Riley Johnson out wide. Back it comes. Elijah Brown tried to go down to the crease for Goddard. He'll pick it up in the corner. 10 on the shot clock now. A solid pick from Brown. Backhand shot just missing into the middle of the floor. And print up away with the pill.
Oakley Thomas playing more offense now. We've seen that later in games when they need a goal. They'll take him away from his traditional defensive transition position. Just goes to show you how much faith Stu Montour has in Oakley Thomas.
He was prominent last year at the Prezi. Here's Patterson, who's been real good for Tuscarora here at this year's President's Cup. Takes a chop, keeps going, and shot it wide just as the shot clock was about to run out. So another possession here for the Rivermen as under 5 we go, and you can pretty much count it down here, Pat. You're getting 30 seconds apiece from each team. Not too many possessions left here on offense for Six Nations. And they got to make something happen to try and tie. That's not going to do it as it's intercepted. And maybe numbers. A chance for a breakaway potentially. It's Monroe. And he tested Hill. They'll come back up with the ball. And now a chance to work at 30 here with a full possession on offense. But not before we get a whistle here as the strap on the bucket of Hill had popped off.
I know we talk about some gamesmanship, but that one legitimately went off the head. So
the last thing you want is a goalkeeper playing with a strap undone on his helmet.
Fully legit by Dustin Hill.
And he'll take the opportunity to get some H2O. And will take his time doing so. That gives Tuscarora a chance to gather their troops at the bench defensively, along with Chrysler Jr. over there. And I get a real team vibe looking at this Tomahawk team around the hotel. They're out in the parking lot together. They're hanging out. They're having breakfast. just get a real good sense that these guys like to spend time around each other in a real tight unit.
I think that's what got them through a little bit of a shaky regular season, and they were able to rally around their coaching staff and rally together. And most teams, winless through their last game.
Mail it in.
Yeah,
not this team.
Group. No way.
And they lead the Rivermen 7-6. Looking for win number 1 here to finish off their tournament. Curry searching for a lane. 15 on the clock. As out of the corner comes Chadwick. He'll send it across. Hard pass back. Curry on a sub-release. Hill the stop. The loose ball scooped up by Kaminga. He's got Martin up the floor. And Chrysler Jr. slams the door shut. Big time stop there from the Tomahawks netminder.
And just calm, cool, and collected, leaning up on his post.
Especially from a guy who has been ultra dangerous in transition for Six Nations.
Almost automatic, I would say, Jumbo.
Well, you could say it if you want.
All right, he's been almost automatic.
Miller with 6. And not much happening on this possession. But I'm not sure Tuscarora is worried about getting another one. I think they're just trying to play for the 1-goal victory here at this point. That might be a dangerous game to play against these Rivermen, however. I think 8 will get it done. 7, maybe not. Rivera turns, shoots, did not miss by much on a blind shot that Chrysler never saw. A good run here from Tyler Kahn. Is he going to try it? Why not? And off the pad of Hill with an easy save. And coaching staff up in arms about that take from Kahn.
Yeah, I don't know about the underhand rip in transition when you got to chew up clock.
Especially with the Woody. Makes it a little more difficult as Smith bang on, but Chrysler another stop. When he has his angle set, there is just not a lot of room in behind that keeper. Empty net as Dusty Hill on his horse back to the cage. As Six Nations starts to press here. But here comes Curry. And maybe numbers down low as they clear out for number 8. He'll take it deep into the corner. And here's where the coaching of Darius Kilgore, who has coached this game at the highest of levels, will play a factor in this 1-goal game with 2 minutes to play. Empty net once again for the Rib. Here's Whitlow out there with Smith. Rivera parked out wide on the pop out. Here's Rivera, 13 on the clock, pressured high. Will circle around. He'll send it out wide. Up it comes for Whitlow, and he shot it wide on the shorts. Rebound for Elijah Brown, couldn't do it. And the ball will roll into the crease. And good thing Chrysler had his stick between his legs. Now do they want the breakaway opportunity, a chance to send it in, and they score! How about it from the Tomahawks? As now, after that one, from the most unlikely of sources, and Ben Austin have the 2-goal lead with 1:23 to play.
The Stones from Ben Austin to take that. Unlikely, but boy, it looked like he knew what he was doing with the twister corkscrew finish. Oh, man.
What a goal, what a moment for Ben Austin and Tuscarora.
Just
we're
his
not
second
done yet,
goal
Pat.
of the
We're
tournament.
done.
Oh, no. We are far from over.
And look at how Tuscarora has battled here back in the shot, not only the game, but the shot totals as well, 50-42. They've trailed as many as by 16, 17 shots in this game. But I would say they've been the better team here in the third period when you thought maybe the big push would come from Six Nations.
Yeah, they've just, in every facet, they've been so smart. Defensively, they got away from kind of packing it in and allowing Six Nations to shoot the ball from the outside, getting up in hands, pushing the ball in transition. Offensively, everyone getting their touches, using the clock, but also not just using up a 30, throw the ball in the middle. They were taking their shots when they had them, bringing into the net, just from top to bottom. And, oh, yeah, Chrysler Jr. standing on his head.
Absolutely huge in this third period, and all game really for the Tomahawk goalie. Big face-off. It's won by Six Nations. Hill back to the Rivermen bench once again as they'll bring on, as Patterson trying to break it up, almost did. He'll make a change. It's 6-on-5, Six Nations. 68 seconds to play. Do they have a dramatic comeback in store? Let's find out, shall we? Long drive. Another stop for Chrysler Jr., much to the delight of the Tomahawk fans. Hill scrambling back to his goal once again. Patterson thought about it, won't shoot it. The clock is your friend right now if you're Tuscarora. He'll peel out of the corner with 10 on the shot clock. He'll come backwards with it. And he'll just milk this thing right down. Gonna get a shot off that Hill will stop. But now they're just left with 25 seconds, our Six Nations.
Gonna have to move quick.
And here they come. Skip feed, blocked and blown up. Throw it down the floor, empty net. Wide of the goal, but Tuscarora is there, and Chadwick will salt it for the Tomahawks. They're going to win, Pat.
It took to the very last day, but Tuscarora, they're not heading home empty-handed. They'll come with a win. Of course, they wanted and expected a better result. They would much rather be battling for a President's Cup in the Final Four this weekend. But for the way that they've battled since they stepped foot here in the track, every single game, giving the teams everything they got, their hard work finally showed off, and they are going to finish the President's Cup with a much-deserved victory.
Clock will tick down, and the scoreboard will read Tuscarora 9, Six Nations 6. What a performance from Chrysler Jr. and these Tuscarora Tomahawks, who just never gave up this week here at the Prezi. And they're going home with a victory in their back pocket as what has to be a disappointing week here for the perennial powerhouse Six Nations Rivermen.
It's a step back for the Rivermen, no doubt about that. But this is also a team that finished third in Ontario. They came back. They battled against Brooklyn in the semifinals. And again, for sure going to be disappointed with the way that this played out for them at the President's Cup. But they're going to be back. This is a team that year in, year out are always one of the top teams in Ontario. There's no doubt that this moment right here will be something that motivates them next year.
And I think it'll motivate Tuscarora just as much. As, of course, the President's Cup next year will be played in the province of British Columbia and the flatlands of Ladner, BC, the home of the Pioneers. Will it be a chance to go for a three-peat is a question that will be answered by the end of Saturday night. Potentially by Friday. We shall see. But we know Tuscarora and Six Nations are now done their President's Cup here in 2023. But more games to come here from Oakville leading up to Championship Saturday as Handshake's just about done. Players of the game, Pat Gregoire.
I mean, how do we not give it to Chrysler Jr. for Tuscarora?
51 shots.
Just 6 against, and it's not just the quantity of saves and the quality. It was timely. When they needed him most, he came up with big stop after big stop, and it's a guy that at some points in the tournament was the third string goalie and behind Dylan Sprints. Like this is an opportunity that he was given in the last game. That Dylan Sprints out and Chase Martin gives, takes his place, working the gate, and he took it and ran with it.
About as friendly as a handshake after a post game that you're going to see here between the Tomahawks and Rivermen. You love to see it. And I don't know. Who are you taking here for Six Nations, Pat? Wayne Hill, maybe?
Mason Hill had 2 tucks.
Mason Hill, yes.
Wes Whitlow, a couple of assists, but that's who I'd go with.
Well, let's find out, courtesy of Bar Down Lax. As we're running out of time to get our bucket hats up here. They've changed colors, by the way. They're going with the blue ones now. And no surprise here, and the biggest round of applause goes to Chrysler Jr. and a little giddy up in his step to go get his bucket hat.
And Roger Chrysler Sr. on the floor, proud, big
There's
smile.
a picture for you right there from the President's Cup. Good call, Patty. Mason Hill had a great game.
Well, took us how long for me to finally go two for two?
Yeah, well, 5 days is the answer.
Blind squirrel, I guess.
That's a great picture right there as well. Chrysler Jr., Mason Hill, players of the game here as their tournaments come to a close. But we got more lacrosse action to come. Your final shots on goal in this one. Six Nations 51, Tuscarora 44. But it's the Tomahawks who top the Rivermen by 3. 9-6 your final. Picture time for both of these teams down at their respective nets. Break time for yours truly and Pat Gregoire, as we'll be back at 8 o'clock Eastern for Oakville and Ganawagit. You do not want to miss that one. First place on the line for the Rock. And we'll have it for you on the JVI Sports Network in just over an hour from now. For our entire production crew, for Patty Gregoire, I've been Jake Elliott, and for the fastest game on 2 feet, for a greater, we'll talk to you at 8 o'clock Eastern for more President's Cup action on the JVI Sports Network.
We want to thank our partners for their support of the 2023 President's Cup. Bar Down, Ice River Green Bottle Company, Gatorade, Big Chief Meat Snacks, and the Oakville Pump and Patio. Thank you for your support and helping all the competing teams as they chase the Prezi.